The Create mod. Crashing into the modded Minecraft scene in 2019, it's quickly become one of the all-time greats. With windmills, trains, gears, cogs, and little animals in train conductor hats, it has everything you could ever want from a mod. For those who wanted an even more Create-focused experience, the Create team released Create Above and Beyond in 2021. A challenge and progression-themed mod pack that rebalanced the recipes and gave you a simple objective: get to space. But over the years, Create continued to update, bringing in the massive train update and more recently post-production, adding logistics and item routing. A mod pack author called Pansmith has recently gone back into Create Above and Beyond, updating it for the modern Create era and reissuing the challenge: make it to space. I have taken this challenge. We will make it to space. And every story has its beginning. Before we can make a rocket, or computer, or even a windmill, we need to make a home. This is Create Cabin. If you've ever pretended like you could afford a house, you know the most important trait to consider for a new home: location. After scouting around Spawn, I found the perfect place: a hilled peninsula surrounded by a river, snowy mountains to the west, and a great plain to the south, with a few villages scattered nearby. Perfect outlook for a home, and a land brimming with potential. Look at this. There's like a cool bridge down there. Okay, I think we found the spot. But before I could work on that, I needed some basic materials. I borrowed some basic food and supplies from the local villagers, who were very eager to invest in Skunktail Industries. While out, I also grabbed some kelp from nearby. Luckily, there was a lake just big enough to count as an ocean biome, saving a trip to an actual ocean for those rare green ribbons. While in Cabin, they don't make conveyor belts like in base Create, kelp is now a vital ingredient to andesite alloy, so we'll need it anyway. With some supplies gathered, it was time to start working on a foundation. I wanted to preserve some hilliness to the area, so I didn't go overboard, but I did sketch out a rough location for the home by flattening some land. I also made the very first color palette decision. I found trumpet wood, which is sort of a red with a slight hint of orange, and I thought it looked really nice. But all this digging and chopping made me realize that basic stone tools are lame and bad, so I started work on another important mod in this pack: Tinker's Construct. If you've played modded Minecraft literally any time in the last 10 years, chances are you've probably used this mod before, so I won't go too into depth in it for now. But I made tools with iron heads for durability, vine bindings for less durability usage in the sunlight, and wooden handles to make them easier to repair. We need all the iron we can get right now, so we don't want to waste it on repairing these. Making these tools also made me realize that Cabin has also adjusted how much material you can get out of each individual ore block that you find in the world. With just a basic pickaxe and a vanilla furnace, you only receive 6 to 9 nuggets, or simplified, roughly 0.8 of an ingot per ore. However, with this handy chart provided by the quest book, I can increase my yield by building our very first create machine, a milling machine. That will give us iron dust. And while sticking the dust into a furnace wouldn't increase the yield any more than it would before, if we then melt down this dust using Tinker's construct, that will give us a 3x return, meaning our new expected return per ore is 18 to 27 nuggets, or on average, roughly 2.5 ingots per ore block mined. A 3 times improvement from just doing nothing. Later on, if we continue to refine this process with things like a fortune pickaxe or a create crushing wheel, we'll have even better yields. But for now, it's fine. Looking for ore led me into my very first trip into the mines. Alright, let's go. Check out village. See if we find any iron along the way. Oh, this could be a real cool entrance to our mine. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, hell yeah. That being right next to where we started building our house. There's even like a structure down there. Oh, hell yeah. This world is giving me everything I want. Almost directly below the house is a vast cave. Amazing, as it has everything from lava lakes to skulk to even a mine shaft. Though, being unarmored, I didn't explore it too deeply yet. Oh, yeah. Man, we picked such a good spot to make a base. It's crazy. We have access to all this lava down here. But just look at this beautiful light shaft. God, I love shaders. Oh, look at that. Yo, that looks so good. Oh, yeah, look at that. That looks so good. You can see it tracking across the ground. That's so good. I love shaders. There's a ton of potential to this space, so I'm sure we'll be returning often. I started to notice another classic early game Minecraft issue though. Hunger. Wheat from the village only lasted so long. So I spent some time to gather sheep, pigs, chickens, and cows, and even ran into a small slime tree in a patch on the way, which was another fun feature of Tinker's construct. We can use that later too. The nearby meadow also had a lot of horses, but I didn't have a saddle to ride them with yet. But that's where the market comes in. In Cabin, there's a marketplace where you can eventually sell excess items for gold and silver coins, and then trade those back in for items that might be harder or more annoying to get. While eventually this can be automated, for now, we'll just trade in some dirt for money enough to buy the pet owner package from the market, which includes a saddle and some name tags and some bones and some other goodies. Now we have a horse. If you have any suggestions for what the horse's name should be, drop it in the comments below. After all that, I was ready to start work on the house. I didn't have any strong opinions going into the project, and I wanted to see what would come naturally. I started with an overlook of the valley and worked from there. I ended up going with an A-frame type roof, as it felt like it helped sell that this building was up near the mountains, and the color scheme I went with sort of inadvertently took it in a bit of a farmhouse direction, which I ended up really liking. I added an overhanging patio-like space so I can enjoy the landscape, which I'm sure is to evolve over time. While the interior still needed some decoration, it wasn't long at all before I had a house I was very proud of. With only an iron axe, I kept running out of wood constantly, which meant that an automatic tree farm quickly got added to the to-do list for the future. But soon enough, we had the start to a building. It will continue to get some tweaks and improvements, especially once I have a supply of different types of stone, but it was a vast improvement to being rained on and ambushed by creepers. And with that, I have a base of operations. Next time, we'll continue to landscape, start working on some automation for the wood in particular, and continue with our tentative steps down the quest line. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Smell you later.